As a student who also experienced remote learning from all three campuses, I've taken classes at UTSC, UTSG, and UTM. I did notice that the services that were provided during the pandemic is just not, I guess, on par with the services that were provided before the pandemic. So I guess my question really resides in, will UTSC be offering services that are on par with in-person learning during the pandemic for the upcoming year? If so, how? If not on par, how does the university plan to justify these additional costs?
Okay, and that's a great question, Kelly. So I mentioned earlier that I've augmented the TA budget. So the idea here is to provide more contact time for students. Building cohort, feeling connected is something that's critically important when you're doing online work. That special care needs to be taken so that um, you're taking advantage of the media that you're using effectively, but also trying to address some of the issues that you're missing from an in-person piece. So that's why we've augmented that. I've also augmented the budget for facilitated study groups. So there are a number of, especially early year courses where students sometimes struggle, where we've developed facilitated study groups for courses in the sciences and elsewhere. And so we've doubled the budget there so that we can create more of those groups. Of course, in the summer, we had some, they're all online. In the winter term, they were all in person. So we pivoted to online. In the fall, public health restrictions permitting, we will have some of those in person and many, of course, online. So we're looking at ways in which, especially for our first year students, and I know cohorting is important for you as well as upper year students, but if you picture what the experience would be like for a first year student coming in, especially if they are coming in, maybe they're the only person from their high school that's coming to be enrolled at U of T or UTSC, developing that sense of community is critically important. So we are devoting resources to doing that.
Okay, thank you so much. And I just have a final question before I give it off to my co-host. The economy is very tight right now. And so will there be financial support for students who are in need of additional help paying tuition for the upcoming year? And if so, what does it look like?
Yeah, and I agree. Many people are suffering at the moment. I have two brothers, and they both were unemployed for a number of months. One of them's now working, another one hopefully will be working in September. So it's a lived experience for me as well and for my family. So I do understand that. I understand that many students have parents that haven't been able to work or have been on CERB or other assistance programs. There have been assistance programs for students, but that will be ending. U of T does have a very generous emergency fund. I think we've spent over $5 million since the beginning of COVID to assist students in various ways. So if you are a student now and you're contemplating maybe not being a student because of finances, do connect with our registrar's office and become available and speak with a financial aid person who will be able to outline a number of options if you're in need. But we understand that. We understand how many students are hurting, especially if you were anticipating having a summer job and didn't have it. This can place you in a difficult situation. We also are expanding co-op opportunities and work-study opportunities on campus so that there's more employment opportunities. They'll be largely virtual, but there will be opportunities for students to work